Tonight, the mother of the island's latest homicide victim questions the motives behind the actions of her son's killers. Monsignor Patrick Anthony expresses concerns for safety in an area which is quickly becoming infamous for violent crime. And a Leclerc woman sends a clear warning message to the individuals who burgled her house on Christmas Eve. All this and more coming up in tonight's broadcast.
This is the Hot 7 Nightly News with Loveless and Amy Joseph.
It is Tuesday, the 29th of December, 2020. Welcome to the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. I'm Rochelle Gonzalez, standing in for lovely St. Amy Joseph. Thank you for joining us. On Monday afternoon, St. Lucia recorded homicide number 55. A young man was shot multiple times at Sunbuilt in Castries and succumbed to his injuries at the Owen King EU Hospital. Hot 7 News spoke with the mother of the now deceased, who says she is in absolute disbelief that her son was just stripped away from her in that fashion.
The shooting of 35-year-old Shane Alderson on Monday afternoon brought St. Lucia's homicide count to 55. Alderson was found on the Sunbuilt Road with multiple bullet wounds about his body. The call was placed to the Royal St. Lucia Police Force at approximately 3 p.m. on Monday afternoon. He would later succumb to his injuries at around 7 p.m. at the OKEU Hospital. Hot 7 spoke with the mother of the deceased, Miriana Allison, who says not only has she not been able to accept the fact that her son was gunned down, she has no idea why anyone would want her son dead.
I didn't sleep last night. I just need to see him right now. That's all I need. Nothing else than that. I just need to see him. He was the quiet type. He wouldn't walk with people. He never have company. If he have anything, it's with me. Out, he have no trouble with anybody.
The distraught mother says she got the shocking call about her son's incident from a family friend.
A friend of mine called me. It's a family of his called me asking me if I know that. I tell her no. But I told her that the time he usually go and buy his bread and come back home to bathe. Two of his friends bought his bag for me where it happened, his bag. It had a bit bread in it. Some little things in it, his shoe and thing. But the police haven't called me yet to tell me nothing at all, which is strange. So I'm just going to the hospital right now.
Reports have circulated that Alderson was shot in drive-by fashion. The mother says at this point, all she would like is justice.
Whoever who did it, they told me somebody saw. I would like to get that person, the police to get that person and deal with that person. That's all I have to say.
There have been no arrests in this matter, and the Royal St. Lucia Police Force continues to investigate. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Genevieve Gonzaga.
The incident that left 35-year-old Shane Adelson dead in Sunbuilt Castries transpired opposite the Adelaide and Francis Memorial Home. President of the body governing the elder home, Monsignor Patrick Anthony, says this is the second shooting which has taken place in the direct vicinity of the home. Anthony says these incidents have raised lots of concerns about the level of safety of the area to house elderly folk.
The shooting that left 35-year-old Shane Adelson dead on Monday afternoon took place right next to the Adelaide and Francis Memorial Home. As the gunshots rang through the community, at least 4 elderly residents had to be ushered into the home. President of the Augustus Edwin Justin Foundation, which has the responsibility for the Adelaide and Francis home, Monsignor Patrick Anthony, says staff at the home were left traumatized.
The second incident, we had a first incident right here. So they were very traumatized by that. The residents, fortunately for our residents, many of them are kind of elderly. They don't hear quite well, suffer from dementia. So they were not even really aware of what was happening until they actually thought that the staff were taking them in as usual.
Many issues surrounding the safety of the area have been raised, given that this is the second shooting in recent times.
This is definitely an issue. It's an ongoing. We had one session. We have a second session coming up, and we'll be looking at all those issues. What we can do, in fact, I mean, some people have been even talking about the relocation from here, in terms of where it's really a safe place to have the elderly. But those are issues that the board will discuss, and then we'll come up with some kind of a solution. But safety is definitely an issue, especially our night staff, for example. When they come to work at nights, they have to come here. Those who don't have a vehicle, drop them. They have to try to get a bus.
Anthony said staff has been given counseling to deal with the ordeals that they recently experienced. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Genevieve Gonzague.
Meanwhile, the St. Lucia Fire and Emergency Service has issued a statement on Monday's drive-by shooting where 35-year-old Shane Adelson of Sunbuilt was shot multiple times.
An emergency call came into Fire Service Headquarters on Monday, December 28th at approximately 2:40 p.m. The caller stated that an individual had received a gunshot wound at Sunbuilt in Castries. The responding officers found the male individual lying on his left side on the ground, responsive to only painful stimuli. He presented with penetrating wounds to his legs and arms. Pressure dressing was applied to his wounds to control bleeding. He was transferred to the ambulance and transported to the OKEU hospital.
Javatis also gave information of another shooting incident later in the same evening.
Officers at Fire Service Headquarters responded to an emergency on Monday, December 28th at approximately 9:30 p.m. The caller indicated that one individual had sustained a gunshot wound at La Clery, Castries. The responding officers assessed a 21-year-old who sustained the wound to the right leg and was in a stable condition. However, he refused further medical attention and transportation and subsequently signed a release form.
Adelson has been recorded as the island's 55th homicide for the year so far. In other news, while many were preparing to celebrate Christmas on December 24th, one La Clery resident received disturbing news that her house had been burglarized. Lucita Ferdinand says the individuals made off with electronic devices and some money that she had in her room. She has issued a stern warning, asking the perpetrators to return the laptops which once belonged to her children.
Lucita Ferdinand says every Christmas Eve, her family visits relatives in Monrepo. This Christmas, however, she said they were in for an unpleasant surprise. Ferdinand says mere hours after she was gone, her daughter decided to return home to feed their pets when she realized their house had been broken into. She said her front door and the doors to the various rooms were burst open and the individuals left with many electronic devices.
The person was so brave. They took out that piece of wood was there because they have a deadbolt. You cannot open that easily. The person took a cutlass and they removed that piece of stick to enter in the room. Now they still couldn't open it, so they mashed up the lock to enter there. They took my daughter's laptop from her room. Then they went to my room. They took a laptop I had there. It doesn't have a charger, so it's not coming on. And there was an old one. They took that. They went in my drawer. They took my daughter's tablet. They went in my mother's room and took there's a drawer, it locked. They pry off the lock and they took an electrical drill. Yeah, and I had a piggy bank there with some coins and paper money. They took that too.
Ferdinand, who has been a resident of La Clery for over 20 years, says while this is not a new phenomenon, the individual who burglarized the house appeared to be an amateur.
That wasn't a professional thief because there's TV in the house, other things that the person could have taken, and they didn't take that. So I myself sitting and wondering who could do such a thing. You understand? Like the person watching, because sometimes we hear and people don't even know that we're in the house. So it could have been somebody that really knew that we were not coming back. The person even smoked. They were so comfortable in the house that they smoke. They drank water. I said if we had wine or drinks, the person would drink too.
She has asked members of the public to not purchase goods that is suspected to have been stolen. Ferdinand issued a strong warning to the perpetrators.
One of the laptops, on top of it has a name, FWET, FWET. You can scratch it out, it won't come out. And somebody will know. And I'm saying that people that steal people's stuff, right? When things happen to people, you don't know what they do, okay? You come in and steal somebody's stuff in the house, and you're so brave, you pass in through the front door. What if somebody was in the house? You could have been dead, you don't know. You don't do these things, come in people's house and take their stuff, right? I'm just asking the person to return the child laptop because that's what she used to do her work. You better return it. That's what I'm telling you. Whoever you are, I am telling you that straight out, to return those items that you stole.
She says she has no intention of relenting until the individuals are found. She indicated that the Royal St. Lucia Police Force found various clues that may lead to the identity of the thieves. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Genevieve Gonzalez.
You're watching the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. Stay with us because when we come back, Babonneau residents respond to the recent violence in their community, Rise St. Lucia collaborates with the Soca Star to reach the youth, and A.G. Simpson responds to a report of arson aired on the Monday night Hot 7 TV newscast.